Hi, we're starting the show. Morning.
Hello, morning. What I like spending money on these days,
Mhm.
I guess like traveling, like
Mhm.
experiences. That's always my favorite thing. I am not shopping for clothes these days. I'm not buying new products. I have enough. I'm just trying to like go through what I have. I'm just not interested in the consumer. Even my TikTok shop spending has
It's gone
decreased. I
down.
know because I want to catch flights, babe. I want to like go places. I want to see. I want to live, laugh, love.
Oh, I
Eat, pray,
want
love.
leaving no stone left unturned. Welcome to Disrespectfully
With Katie Maloney
and Dana Cathan.
unapologetically
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
because
Coachella?
You can keep that in. They can know I'm not perfect. It's okay.
Chipotle at
The
Coachella?
chipotle. The chipotle. Yeah, that's a recipe to shit your pants in the fields, the polo fields. I did buy some outfits. Well, and then I came over to yours, but they weren't with us after Pilates the other day. And I tried the t-shirt. I haven't got the skirt will be here today. So I'll send you photos and you can help me pick. But I've been kind of uninspired about Coachella fits this year. I usually, I don't know, eat that up and love them. But I feel like I have some good options, but the big inspo hasn't hit me and it's coming. So we'll see. So
If
I did
the
buy
skirt doesn't work, I have some like very similar stuff too.
Yeah, I feel committed to I don't usually do a skirt in that like way. So I feel excited about that. I did, however, just buy a new pair of Docs that come up to like mid shin. So, and it's a zipper and then the little tab on the back and they're platforms.
Start wearing them now to break those in.
Oh, that's the thing is I have had pairs of Docs for years that hurt my feet every time I wear them. So it doesn't matter. But I think that'll be I kind of want to do that with shorts and that little Coors tank top I got for the last day. Speaking of, because this is now part of that outfit, if you are watching at home, I'd like to show you something wonderful. This in my hands right now is two pairs of cigarette earrings that one of our lovely listeners sent me. And I don't know what I did to deserve this, but this will be in my Sunday Coachella outfit.
You smoked a lot of cigs to deserve that.
I'm yeah, absolutely. I'm like, Marvo, where you at? I'm going to wear one short and one long. We've already decided, but not to put her on blast. I would like to read this card because it's so sweet.
Yeah.
Katie and Danya, which I actually just realized she spelled Danya and put it in quotes. Hey, hotties. I wanted to give you both a little gift to thank you for being the soundtrack to my current chosen unemployment. Dana, hearing you speak about stepping away from the corporate world inspired me to finally take the leap and quit my boring desk job that was killing my soul. I've been baking and blogging and collaging and finally feel human again. I started a baking Insta, and the baking Insta is at John Wayne Bakes and Substack to fill my cup, and I'm loving it. Hopped on my husband's insurance and riding the wave for a while until I find what's right for me. Love you both. Disrespectfully, Abby. P.S. I've listened to the West Borland episode at least 5 times now. Ultimate #daddy. Abby, you're so sweet. This is like truly the most meaningful. I like will cherish these cigarette earrings for life and so proud of you. So go check her out at John Wayne Bakes and proud of you for taking the risk and betting on yourself.
Yeah. Bet on yourself every day.
Yeah. And if you have the opportunity, and especially if you have a spouse to lean on, like we all have to work. I get it. I have done, we all know, corporate job for years and years and years, done horrible, awful jobs, and you got to do what you got to do. But if you do have the chance to do something different, I think if more people lean into their passions, the world would be a better place. And also you might hit your stride. Like, I think keep baking. That's so cool. I can't wait to check out your Instagram.
Finding joy what makes people a lot more pleasant. Do you want to know something insane I did yesterday? I still can't believe I did this.
I'm trying to think of if I know what you were doing yesterday. Yeah, I do. Tell me.
So last night we is one of Nick's like one of his closest friends' birthday, and so he wanted to go to a show at the House of Blues in Anaheim and invited us to come. And I was like, I want to go. Like it was a Hello Goodbye and Boys Night Out that I haven't toured in like almost 20 years.
Hello
Crazy.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
oh
and then
God.
then Armor for Sleep.
Oh, okay.
Which we have friends in as well. And it was such a fantastic show. But we're like, that's a really difficult time to get to Anaheim, as we know, going to medieval times. So he's like, what if we just like go earlier and go like cruise around Disneyland and then go to the show? So we went to Disneyland and then went to a fucking show. Like it was like, but the thing is, because we have like the passes for Disney, it's like there's not that like intense pressure to have like a really like intense Disney day where you're like getting there at rope drop and trying to get on all the rides. Like we kind of just have it slow. We like have like a little beer, have a little lunch, cruise around, maybe pop on a ride if the line's not too long. So we actually got on 2 rides. We rode the Minnie and Mickey Railroad ride that we did in Toontown. And then we were like trying to make our way back, seeing what the wait times were like. Space Mountain had been down. And you know, Space Mountain is one of those rides where it's always an hour plus. I look at it and I'm like, it says 25 minutes. So we haul out. And the thing is, you start noticing everyone's hauling out to the same place. We ended up waiting like 45 minutes, which is crazy.
So good.
It's so good. So yeah, we get on Space Mountain, we leave Disneyland, and we go straight to House of Blues.
That's so
we really just did
kooky
that.
of you and adventurous.
No, it was a lot. It was like just the task of going to House of Blues for a show would have been enough to fill an entire day. But adding, you know, a quick Disney trip on top of that. But it was like made it worth it because we got to Disneyland in like a little over an hour, had like 3 hours there, and then left. It was cute.
I thought you were just gonna say going to poke around Anaheim, which would have been crazier to me. So I love that instead of the natural occurring splendor that is Anaheim, that you made it Disney. So because you guys have the annual passes, does it cover?
So it's like they have the magic keys and there's different tiers to it.
Do you have both parks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it's like the same thing with Disney. When Disney, you have to like buy tickets for a specific day. You can get park hopper tickets, whatever. With the Magic Key, you still have to make a reservation, and sometimes a lot of the days aren't available. So like, you got to really pick a day in advance, kind of, or sometimes the night before it'll be available. But yeah, and then ours, like we get like also like free parking with the ones that we have, so that's nice, I guess too. So you're not paying $40 on top of it all.
How much is it?
A lot.
Tell us, because they can look it up. I just am curious.
I think it was like 1,700.
So then how many times would you have to go to make it worth it?
Well, you
guys go all the time.
It's like $250 to $300 each visit. So it's already paid for itself. We went last week and we went back to back weeks.
Yeah.
So I think it's sometimes too is like getting up really early and going and then leaving around like 1 when it starts to get a little crazy, or going in the evening time, kind of having the option. Because when you buy a pass, you want to get the most out of it for the days. And Kate's like she's such a G when it comes to like planning out and doing like the lightning lane, that like, I don't think we waited in maybe one line for a ride. Everything else was lightning.
No,
pass.
Kate, I don't feel scared going to Disney without Kate, but also when you go to Disney with Kate, she means fucking business. It is I am in the passenger seat. I love just following her around, but she also, but that's the like, we are there the moment the park opens and we stay till closing. So it's like such a production. So I love a more chill Disney moment is so nice for you.
That's what I mean. And it's not far, especially if you leave at the right time. You can get there in like an hour and you just feel like you can just hang out for a little while. And the pressure's not there. Or if you want to do a single lane lightning, that's like $20, which you can do often for like Radiator Springs, you know, you just paid $20.
Right. I can't remember if it's in California Adventure or Disney, but I was there once allegedly on mushrooms, and there's the thing where you turn and it's like the cart it might be Toontown, like, which is what made me think of it. But I was feeling pretty kooky and I turned down that street and it was like a cartoon and I had gotten separated and I was just like having the best time walking around looking at things. And then I called Raleigh and I was like trying to find her and I was like, you take a left and then you become a cartoon. And then she found me. So this is all alleged.
Of course, because you're not supposed to do those kind of activities.
No, and I would never admit to that. So I think that it's, I love it there. Because I don't have that annual thing, like I want to go with you guys sometimes, but I need to go on a like make it count day, like being there for a full
and
situation.
the thing is, I'm down for those days too. But like some days when we're like, should we go to Disney? Also, you get your steps in.
Oh, hell yeah, you do.
Again, in 3 hours, we got like 8,000 steps in. It was great.
But I also get a cone of macaroni and cheese in.
Well, yeah, I'm also not on a like pickle and then a churro and then whatever beer, But still, if you're going to be doing that, you may as well be.
Oh, the smell of
churros?
No, that ride that I like where you get wet, Splash Mountain. Like the smell of that with a pickle. It's just like, there's just nothing better. Like Pirates, that smell.
Oh yeah, the pirate smell is real pungent. I like it.
To this day, last year for Lenny's 4th birthday, we took her to Disney. And to this day, that girl does not fucking forget a goddamn thing you said. If you tell her you're giving her a treat, be prepared she will hold you accountable for that for years. But that's the first ride of the day that we did. And we traumatized her. She was so scared. She hated it. It was too dark. And we thought she'd like it. But then, so the whole day she just kept being like, I don't like pirates. And then to this day, a year later, if someone asks her, oh, what did you think of Disneyland? She's like, I love Disneyland, but not pirates.
Oh.
So I don't think she'll ever go on pirates again, but.
That's core memory right there.
Yeah. Just FYI. So if you want to traumatize your kids, bring them there and stick them on that. I want to see the new Haunted Mansion and the new Splash Mountain.
Yeah, I haven't been on either of them because when I've gone, it's also been the spring break these last couple of weeks. So it is Saturday every day there.
Yeah. And did you already cover, there are blackout dates for having those passes? Like, I'm
yeah,
assuming
like a lot of the summer's blacked out. But again, I don't want to go to Disneyland on those dates, period. Like the crowds, like, like I saw a dog at Disneyland yesterday. I was like, can we have a dog day where it's just dogs? Like this dog had a mini skirt on and ear. It was really cute.
Was it a service dog or do they let dogs in there?
I think it had been a service dog. But I mean, yeah, like less babies and strollers and more dogs, please. Thanks. Disneyland is for the adults. Stand by that. It's for adults.
No, it really is. I'm like, I get it if you have to. But even honestly, love Lenny, I would literally die for her. I had a lot more fun with you guys. I have more fun with my friends. Having a kid at Disney, and also because it's such a long day for them and it's hot. And at like 5 p.m. on the dot, she burned out. Like it was done. The day was, she was just totally melted down. And then I was like, okay, we got to go get some wine and eat food at home.
Anyway, this episode is not about Disneyland.
It's not. And should we share some of your stories?
Yeah,
your
I like that.
Hometown heroes?
Enough of our stories. Let's tell your stories.
Yeah, hometown heroes. Katie says, hello, Dana and Katie and the rest of the lovely Coven. Per usual, y'all are amazing and I love, love, love listening to the pod. Never stop. Threat. I'm adding that in there because I think I love when people say that now. They're like, I'll find you in every life. Threat. I'm bringing the story out of my high school archives and hope you enjoy. In high school, I was dating my neighbor. He was a senior and I was a freshman, and he lived across the street from me 2 houses down. Like any other high schooler, my hormones, more like my whore, spelled WHORE, moans, were going wild, and I was obsessed with spending time with my boyfriend. My parents were pretty strict and never let me hang out with him alone, so we had to make our own time, which resulted in me sneaking out after my parents went to bed. I would go the whole 9 yards whenever I snuck out. I always timed it perfectly with my parents' nightly routine, made sure that my blankets were positioned to look like a sleeping human, and the worst part, I'd have to crawl through my boyfriend's window. Wow. One night when my boyfriend and I were wrapping up, I checked my phone and I noticed I had 10 missed calls from my parents. They had discovered the fake human blankets and were looking for me. There is nothing worse than your adolescence being in the middle of the field, drunk, throwing up somewhere, and you see that your mother is calling you on repeat. I am obviously being specific about myself, but there's nothing worse than when you're doing something nefarious and your parents call you and you just know that you're fucked.
That never happened to me.
Did it not?
No, because I was like, I was always going to be staying somewhere, like I don't think there was, maybe if I was like, didn't make it home before dark, but there was no way to get a hold of me.
I got caught. So scary. Immediately, the panic set in and I hustled my ass out the window and sprinted down the street. My boyfriend's yard was big and it took a few minutes to cover the distance from his window to the road. I sprinted so hard and so fast that I ended up puking in the field as my dad's truck pulled up at the same time. Can you tell I am not on the track team? Mm-hmm. Luckily, I was far enough from my boyfriend's house. It didn't look like I was coming from that direction. I lied my ass off and said I couldn't sleep and needed to clear my head, like any other normal teenager at 2 a.m. I don't think my parents thought I was visiting my boyfriend, but they did think I was out partying since they found me puking my guts out. I was grounded for a month after that. Memories. Hope you guys enjoyed my walk down memory lane. K, love you, bye. Katie, pronounced Katie.
Oh.
I think it's funny though, because I wonder if the punishment would have been worse for her if the parents found out that she was at the boyfriend's. Like I feel like it would be better to let them think that she was just, drinking with a couple of her girlfriends somewhere.
Let them think what they want. What helps them sleep at night.
Yeah. So I would take that. It might have been a worse punishment. So I think that, thank God you're not a runner. What if you were, on the track team for real? And then you wouldn't have gotten out of this. So.
And then you shit your pants while running a marathon. Oh, sorry. Different story. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, so dare I ask how you slept last night?
No, I don't want to start on a bad note. Of course not.
Well, were you comfortable?
I switched it up and went back to my old sheets, my before Bowl and Branch. And no, I slept terribly. So today, after this, you know what I'm doing? Switching the bedding up.
That's what you got to do.
If you really want to change the way you sleep, you need to upgrade to Bowl and Branch's 100% organic cotton sheets. You'll sleep faster with a luxurious softness that puts you into instant relaxation mode. You'll sleep every night in buttery, breathable comfort and feel your sheets get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with Bowl and Branch's 30-night guarantee.
You guys, these sheets are truly incredible. The quality is immediately noticeable and has completely changed the way I sleep. I'm like a little baby.
A little kid.
Yeah, one of the quiet ones that doesn't cry that everybody loves.
The ones we like.
Obviously. Mm-hmm. And they just keep getting softer after every single wash. Ugh. I never want to get out of bed. Bowl and Branch products are made different so you can sleep better at night. Woven with the finest 100% cotton on earth and crafted by artisans who earn the pay and respect they deserve.
Their signature hem sheet sets, amazing. They have designs and colors for every bedroom style and mattress size, are all seasoned with breathable, unmatched softness, and are the perfect foundation for Boll & Branch's airy bed blankets, cloud-like duvets, and so much more.
Think you can't get better? Wrong. With a 30-night worry-free guarantee, you can try Boll & Branch sheets for an entire month. Seriously, you can wash, style, and feel the difference for yourself risk-free. And if they somehow don't change the way you sleep, just send them back for a full refund.
Upgrade your sleep during Boll & Branch's annual spring event. For a limited time, get 20% off bollandbranch.com/disrespectfully. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/disrespectfully to take 20% off site-wide for a limited time. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Listen, I may have a skill in putting together some, furniture here and there, little quick fixes. But for the big stuff, I'm going to leave that to the pros, especially when it comes to blinds. I mean, I need my privacy and I ain't going to mess that up.
Yeah, you don't want any peeping Toms. Get it? Because you were married to a Tom.
Oh.
We can shop for almost anything at home. Why not shop for blinds at home? 3 Day Blinds has local, professionally trained design consultants who have an average of 10 plus years of experience that provide expert guidance on the right blinds for you in the comfort of your own home. Just set up an appointment and you'll get a free, no obligation quote the same day. I hate quotes with obligations.
I know. And you're not very handy? Well, DIY projects can be fun, but measuring and installing blinds can be a big challenge. Do not attempt that.
Why are you yelling at me?
The expert team at 3 Day Blinds handles all the heavy lifting. They design, measure, and install, so you can just sit back, relax, and leave it to the pros.
I was checking out 3 Day Blinds Instagram because, I love to creep, and they've got some good-looking blinds. Plus, if you want to connect them to your smart house, just say, Alexa, open the blinds, and bam, gorgeous, gorgeous light immediately.
I can just picture you laying in bed with your blackout blinds, and then you command them to open.
Just tell her.
With 3 Day Blinds, you choose from thousands of options that fit any budget or style. With actual samples, you won't be guessing about what your blinds are going to look like. 3 Day Blinds has been in business for over 45 years, and they have helped over 2 million people get the window treatments of their dreams, so they're a brand you can trust.
Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3 Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/disrespectfully for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds and shades, shutters, and drapery. For free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/disrespectfully. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the number 3blinds.com/disrespectfully.
Next, Ketchup Girl says, greetings to my beautiful Coven leaders. Who's ready for a pissing good story? Me. I was 26 at the time, dating this cute ginger who I was utterly obsessed with. It was my birthday and I wanted to party it up in my sexy black dress that finally fit me after 2 years and 60 pounds dropped. At this point in my life, I had never taken an edible before, and my boyfriend knew a guy who could fulfill my birthday wishes.
Homemade edibles, first fucking error.
So we're all pre-gaming at my apartment and take an edible. An hour goes by and I don't feel anything. So I took another half. Very big mistake. I became so high that I couldn't move or open my eyes without getting dizzy. My best friend had to physically walk me to my bedroom, remove that sexy black dress, and plop my ass into bed. Everyone went out while I was passed out. For the record, the cute ginger did not want to stay back with me, but I told him to go out since I was just going to be sleeping. Fast forward to about 4 a.m. I wake up to this odd sound. I sit up in my bed and see my boyfriend standing in front of my plastic dresser with his pants down. You guessed it. He was pissing in my dresser. I tried talking and yelling at him and he wasn't responding. He literally finished his pee and came back to bed. By this point, I'm too sober to ignore this, so I get up and clean up the mess and go back to bed. We both woke up around the same time, and the first thing he says to me is, "Will you suck my dick?" My pick-me-ass sucked him dry before telling him what he did a few hours ago. His response was, "Why the fuck would you suck my dick after that?" Because I'm a people pleaser and I want you to love me, that's why. He felt absolutely terrible and very embarrassed and bought me Wendy's to apologize. Lovely man. We were both broke and Wendy's spicy nugs are superb. Oh, they really are.
Well, and the Frosties.
Oh my God. I would forget anything while drinking or eating, having.
Yeah, enjoying some
A
Wendy's.
Frosty. While our relationship didn't last, I will say that he's my favorite ex. Such a sweet person, just not the person for me. Hope the story wasn't too long and that you were entertained. I also have a random insecure question to ask regarding submitting stories. How many is too many? The limit doesn't exist. I'll answer that right now.
Keep sending.
I want to write in more, but I feel a little creepy and I'm worried I'll annoy the Coven. It's just a fun thing to do. I love listening to the stories that come from you both when you read them. I love you all. XOXO Ketchup Girl. Ketchup Girl, that's a throwback. She wrote in before. I don't remember the ketchup story, but I remember ketchup.
I personally love that you called yourself a pick-me, because that was not where I saw that going, especially when you wake up hungover in the morning. I think that most people don't want to suck a dick right away. Like,
I'm a people pleaser and I wanted you to love me. That's
so funny. I would say in terms of submitting stories, please submit all of them. We want all of them. However, I will say I've seen some people, I actually have gotten out of the comment section lately. It's been good for my mental health, but people will be like, hey, I sent a story and blah, blah, blah. We love these stories, but we get a ton of them.
Resubmit it.
Bring
it to the top of the list.
Resubmit it. We have to read through so many of these. So it's nothing personal. If we don't pick your story, it's not because you're like, ugh, that's a bad story. It's because we have so many.
Like reading 20, it takes a long time and then choosing some. So bring it back to the top of the list. Ping it.
Circle back.
Yeah.
Just do a little circle back.
Mm-hmm.
Augie says, howdy, disrespectfully ladies. My name is Augie. I wish I could say longtime Pump fan, but alas, my best friend begged me to watch for years. And finally, around October, November-ish this last year, I randomly decided to start episode 1. Needless to say that it became my hyperfixation for the next few months. I watched it twice back to back. And when the show came to its second bitter end, I started looking for more content. I needed more of this world in my life. I watched a couple first episodes of other pods until I finally found my Coven.
Oh, I love that.
I've been catching up on the pod, making my way. I've watched about 60 episodes in the past 2 months. Y'all are my parasocial besties, and there have been multiple times throughout my day where something happens that goes with a pod was listening to that day, and I wish I could pull out my phone and text you ladies about it. LOL. Okay, now for the story. A few weeks ago, someone sent in a story about the worst thing they'd ever done, and it got me thinking about 2021 to 2023. The 2 years I spent acting like a madwoman after coming out of a 4-year relationship with someone 8 years older than me. My ex and I shared a house together for almost 2 years after the breakup. Jeez. I know. It was a very toxic environment from us both. One day, I went into his room to get something for our dog while he was at work, and I noticed his wallet was on the floor. Being the insane person that I was in my life at that time, I wanted to take a look in his wallet and see if he still carried a picture of me in it. I know. To my surprise, a photo strip fell out. Now, we've been broken up for over a year at this point, and yes, we both hooked up with other people, but obviously never come face to face with that fact. Lo and behold, the girl in the photo strip was no stranger.
Dun, dun, dun.
I knew her. Over the course of the last year, I became a regular at a local bar in the next town over. I became friends with a cool bartender chick and talked to her all day about my ex on the many nights I hung out there. One time in the early hang out, she brought up that she had met him once a long time ago, but that was it. It was never mentioned again. Tell me why the bartender who listened to my problems with this man was now staring back at me, posing with him, kissing in a photo booth. I was raging mad. Again, please remember, I am not an insane person anymore. That day, he took his motorcycle to work, so I decided I was going to have a little look-see in his truck. I found about 3 outfit changes in his back seat of girl clothes. This girl was comfortable enough to be leaving clothes in his car and changing in and out there, and it enraged me. I went inside and took scissors and I cut the clothes up into confetti. First, I thought about throwing them away to hide the evidence and going on with my life, but no. At that point in my life, I chose violence. I sprinkled the confetti clothes all over the inside of the car so that he couldn't miss it the next time he used his truck. I wanted him to see what I had done and wanted him to know that I knew. Come to think of it, in those 2 years spent being a menace to society, maybe this wasn't the worst thing I've ever done, and maybe those can be stories for another time. Okay, love you, bye. Also, if it's not too long to add, daddy list. This season of White Lotus, basement. The fact that there's construction on every street surrounding my neighborhood.
Fair.
We love your daddy in basement.
Oof, the cutting up the clothes of the girl, like listen, that is psychotic behavior.
This is psychotic. However, I so understand that rage when it's not rational. I'm going to tell you a little story. I was in Miami. I ran into an ex that was there, and we didn't hook up or anything, but I just hung out with his friends and whatever. And then I think I was with Katya and she had to leave for a work trip and I stayed in Miami one more night. Actually, this might be the night that I was at 11 until 7 in the morning and my flight was at 9:30 and I almost missed it. But anyway, story for another time. So I met this girl at this random dinner and ended up bringing her with me to the club. And I was like telling her about this ex and complaining about it and was just like telling her what happened. She was like, oh my God, you're too good for him. Blah, blah, blah. We get to the club. She's talking so much shit about him. She's like, ugh, he's disgusting. I can't believe you ever dated him. Blah, 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 blah. We follow each other on Instagram. If we kind of talk parasocially. A few months later, I run into him and find out that she's coming to visit him. Fully flew to Los Angeles to come visit this man while she was still like talking to me on Instagram. So yeah, was this girl my best friend? No, of course not. Was this bartender your best friend? No, of course not. But it was just like this, like, what a conniving thing to do. And even though the bartender brought up that she knew him and had met him, but then left that out of the equation, I understand the feeling is what I'm saying. I didn't do anything to this woman. I just unfollowed her, but
no, you know, I mean,
I get it.
That's a special type.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I meet people like that, I'm like, ugh. Again, they don't owe you anything, but like, it's just weird that someone would indulge or divulge and then do the opposite.
Yeah. Wild times. So anyway, we love you. Thanks for sending that in. That was a good one.
Oh God. You ready for this?
Yes.
Anonymous says, hey, Katie and Dana. Love you ladies and the pod. I've written it before, but when I thought about your input on this topic, I couldn't pass it up. My dad has not one, not two, but 3 friends who are convicted murderers. I have met all 3 of them. I know you mentioned in a previous episode that you wonder who you pass on the streets that are capable of these things. And well, somehow I have met at least 3 of these weirdos. Yeah. The first guy was my dad's high school best friend. One night out drinking at a bar, he beat a man to death outside. Oof. He spent my childhood in prison, but when he was released, he came by and I met the infamous man I grew up hearing about. Dad, what is wrong with you? LOL. Yeah, what the fuck?
That's some real dad shit right there. Like, hey, you're fresh out of the pen and
he's a great guy.
Murder, come hang out.
The second guy was a man my dad would hang out with. Honestly, my dad was into some shady shit at one point, and I think it was his friend/drug supplier. Anyway, his daughter and I met one day and we all had lunch together. He only had one leg, so I wasn't scared of the guy. LOL. It turns out this man had a homeless guy messing around his yard, allegedly, and he was driving in his truck down an alleyway, and he took out a handgun and shot him to death. My dad was with him the day he did this, and my dad was getting interrogated as well. It was fucking crazy. Anyway, that man is now spending life in prison with one leg. Good luck, buddy. The third man is a guy my dad met and started working for. He helps the guy flip houses. This man used to be into some hard drugs like meth, psychedelics, etc. I guess he murdered someone and freaked out and put his body in a tub of acid under his porch.
That is some, what is that? Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Now released for the murder. What? But still, that's fucking insane and psychotic. I met this man when I came into town about a year ago and he seemed chill, but holy shit, man. Yeah. What the? Anyway, should I be concerned about who my dad keeps his company? Yes. Without
That's
a
what
doubt.
I've been thinking the entire time. That is insane.
I remember in high school, a grown man was commenting creepy shit to me on Facebook. My dad called the police to report it, and they said technically I shouldn't be on Facebook since I'm not 18, so not much they can do. LMFAO, okay. So my dad looked up his name and address, and let's just say I never heard from that guy again. Anywho, thanks for listening and have a great day. Wow.
Okay, now I know why it's anonymous. I was like, wait, did they say their name? Dad committed a potential crime. Love it. If you know murderers, we're going to need to hear more of these stories. So please write in. And I mean, I would say sometimes it's like, could be a quinky dink, but your dad knows 3.
Yeah, all the men listen, if you know 3 people that have done psychotic shit and taken someone's life, maybe it's a you thing.
Yeah.
Listen, it's your dad, but like.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, my dad is a musician, so he had scrubby, sketchy musician friends my whole latchkey life that were around. Yeah, no murders that I at least knew of. But I also love that this person pointed out that, back to our conversation about you never know, like who you're just passing by on the street. That is crazy. Madison says, hello, gorgeous, gorgeous gals. I love that because Logan always says that. You gorgeous, gorgeous girls. So it reminded me of Logan.
Yes.
First time writing in, day 1 listener. My parasocial friendship with you grows every day. I've been wanting to send this in for a while, but I've been hearing more ghost stories on the pod. It's a pretty tame one, so I'll save a hometown hero that could very much send my Catholic grown ass to hell for later, so here we go. Picture Sophia Petrillo from Golden Girls.
Yes.
She's a little white hair, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tiny cotton candy hair, old Sicilian woman. That was my great grandma, really. I hope I'm saying that right. Do you think it's really?
Real?
Reale. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. My parents owned a Chicago-style hot dog restaurant, and my brother was a whole 10 years older than me, so I was a latchkey kid. Latchkey kid hive, rise up. Grandma would stay with us for a couple weeks at a time, so on days when I didn't have to go to dance class, she would be waiting for me as I got off the bus from school. She was my best friend growing up. We had a bond that was so tight that it's been 13 years since she's passed, and there's not a day that goes by where I don't think of her. My grandma was old AF. She lived to be 2 weeks shy of her 102nd birthday.
Holy shit.
And it actually was a shock to us when she passed. Her daughter and son-in-law, Ma and Papa, are still very much alive today at 90 and 92 years old with no signs of slowing down or looking their age. Someone on the side of the family lived to be 114. When I tell you that I could be taken out to pasture before I get to that point, I mean it. I would like to be taken out to pasture. So let me get to the meat of it. Picture it. 2011, I'm a senior in high school and have dance class that particular night. Before I leave for school, I threw my tights, leotard, some sweatpants, and some towels in the washer. I was going to have time to throw it in the dryer when I got home that day. When I got home from school, I go into the laundry room and every single thing that I threw in the wash that morning was dried and perfectly folded, all of my dance items separated. My dad had called me before I left for whatever reason and told me thanks for doing my laundry. And he goes, I wasn't home all day today and you know I wouldn't have folded that. My mom's job as a nurse was about an hour away, so she wouldn't have come all the way home on lunch to do it either. My brother also wouldn't have done it, and on top of that, he was on vacation in Florida this week. When I got home from class that night and told my mom what happened, she just started crying. My mom is very intrigued by the spiritual world, but only in the way of the middle-aged women being a huge fan of Ghost Adventures and all the shows in that realm. She told me that she and Grandma had to talk about how she would like to let us know she's still around. The only thing that this woman had issues with in her growing age was being seen by a podiatrist more than I checked the time. She was on her feet constantly and always doing the laundry. My mom wanted her to give us signs that she was still with us in the laundry room. It was her. Grammy was still doing laundry and she was with us. Isn't that so sweet? If this isn't terribly long already, this quick story follows that in 2016. This one's even wilder. Everyone in my family is a diehard Chicago Cubs fan. My grandma would listen to the games with every single little headphone plugged into the TV. Again, 2016, the year they won the World Series, I moved back in with my parents for a couple of years, but at this point, we had moved from my childhood home with the laundry room. I came home after that famous Game 7 game to both my parents crying, thinking it was about the game. We had one of those outdoor solar lights that ended up getting smashed, but it was, for some reason, sitting on the kitchen counter for days with lights all on. They told me during the rain delay that had happened at the end of the game, it would randomly pop on and off. Again, it's a solar light, so unless it's dark in there, it wouldn't have gone on. At the end of the game, when the Cubs threw their last ball to first base to end the whole thing, they said it was blinking slowly. Blink, blink as they threw the ball. Blink, blink, blink faster, then bam. The light stayed on for a few minutes when the Cubs officially won the World Series. A broken solar light in a well-lit room. It was Grandma again. Her Cubbies finally won.
Aww.
I think that's so sweet. Thanks for listening to this long-ass story. I truly appreciate it and hope you enjoyed it. Really quick, if you guys are ever in Chicago, would love to host you at my cousin's pizza place, Professor Pizza, located in the Second City building. Comedy and pizza on me. And Dana, I was the one that DM'd you my fortune cookies saying that what is lost will soon be found. I truly believe that shit, so I can't wait to hear about you finding your mom's ring. Okay, I'm done. K, love you, bye. Oh my God, I didn't even notice that the first time I read it. That's so sweet. She was like, I found this at a restaurant and I think it's for you, not for me. Which is
That's so sweet. That's very thoughtful.
And I love when our loved ones show up in the way that was familiar to who they were in life. Like, I fully believe that was
way
your
there's
grandma.
like no doubt. They're like, this is unmistakable.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay. Anonymous says, hi, ladies. Massive fan of the pod. Day one VPR obsessed. I even won a VPR trivia night in my city last year. Arguably my proudest achievement in life this far. I absolutely adore you both and have been dying to send in this story for a while now. Hope it makes you laugh as hard as it still makes me. Okay, back in 2007, my best friend at the time and I were backpacking through Europe, fresh out of university, newly single, and fully committed to only 3 important things: food, men, and partying.
Hell yeah, brother.
One of our first stops was Amsterdam, where my friend was dying to try a weed brownie. So, like the responsible travelers we were, we found a cafe that sold an assortment of weed-infused treats where she purchased a brownie pretty much the size of both my hands. Oh, no.
I'm so scared for where this is going.
That night, we hit up a bar and met 2 ridiculously hot guys we'd scoped out earlier that day. Like true besties, we had already assigned who was talking to who, obviously. An hour in, my friend pulled out the brownie and she, along with the two guys, started going in on it. As for me, I decided to stick to the classic liquid courage and gracefully declined. You were in for a treat. Different kind of treat.
Oh, no.
As the night progressed, drinks were flowing, bodies were moving, and the weed brownie was working. My friend and the two guys were getting absolutely obliterated, hitting that level of high where you start questioning if time is real. And yet somehow they powered through. As the bar lights started to dim, we took it as our cue to dive into full-on makeout session with our respective dudes. At one point, I turned to check on my friend, and she and her guy were really going at it on the dance floor. But here's where things got weird. This man wasn't just kissing her neck. He was devouring it. Like, I was genuinely concerned for her well-being. But she seemed totally fine, fully living her best life. So I shrugged it off and got back to my own situation. Fast forward to the next morning, hungover, half dead, and forcing ourselves to get ready for the Van Gogh Museum. My friend was brushing her hair when she suddenly gasped. She turned to me, face pale as a ghost, eyes wide with terror. Oh my God, she screamed. I ran into the bathroom expecting the worst. She pointed at her neck. My mole is gone. I blinked. What? The fucking Dracula boy literally kissed it off my body. And sure enough, the mole that had lived on her neck since she was a kid was just gone, evaporated, absorbed.
What?
To this day, we have no idea the guy had some kind of superhuman suction power, a tongue like sandpaper, or if my friend was just one passionate kiss away from a spontaneous skin removal. But the one thing's for sure, when people talk about leaving a piece of themselves behind while traveling, this is not what they mean. We somehow managed to drag ourselves out to the Van Gogh, that day. Though I'm pretty sure my friend was still wondering if she left her mole behind in Amsterdam, like a forgotten souvenir. Hope this made you both laugh. Kay, love you. Bye.
Okay, I need to know what the hickeys, there had to have been crazy hickeys then if the mole's gone.
Oh, yeah.
I thought eating my fake lip ring was bad.
Wouldn't you bleed or notice? I don't know.
Well, maybe he lapped that up too. Wouldn't he taste it? Ew, that is crazy.
Imagine actually ingesting a mole.
Well, I mean, that's like, well, what was the thing that someone's body jewelry ate? Also, like I had my fake one, but someone wrote in a story about a guy ate, was it her nose ring or something?
Oh, no.
Swallowed it?
His nose ring went up her nose and then out her mouth.
Ugh.
Fucking gross.
No, that is disgusting, but the exact kind of story we're looking for. So good job. You guys, that is just horrifying. Okay, this has nothing to do with moles, but just popped into my head. Can I tell you guys something else horrifying that happened to me last night?
Yeah.
You know when your toys aren't fully charged?
Yeah.
I was having some me time. Ran through 3 of them. Almost happened, died. Almost happened, died.
To be
Almost
fair,
happened, died.
The battery life on those is not great.
No, it's not. And I keep my main 3 in my nightstand for these reasons. And then I have like my other collection elsewhere. But I'm like, they all let me down. And I basically, it's like that episode of Sex and the City where Samantha like chucks it and was like, like that was me. And I just went to bed and was like too bummed out about the whole thing.
Sorry.
Anyway, is there anything that's like one of the worst things that happens to us as women?
No, it's really
unreliable and it's just
a letdown.
Yeah, it's just a letdown. And I was too tired. I was like, I can't resolve this on my own. So good night.
Yeah, you got to go analog at that point.
Yeah, and I was too tired. I wasn't doing that. So anyway, thanks for writing in, everyone.
Ooh,
should we?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's solve some problems.
Let's do a little WWDD, which stands for what would disrespectfully do. In case anyone doesn't know, I always want, because sometimes we have new listeners.
In the case you're new here, that's what it is.
That's what it is. So send us your questions.
We're giving you advice, questionably, question the merit. But also we have life experience. So
yeah, we're definitely weathered women in a cute way, but enough to tell you what the business is. So if you'd like to, write those into disrespectfullypod at Gmail. Taylor says, hi, ladies. Can you help us ladies who have no idea what we're doing when it comes to skincare makeup? 33-year-old who still uses the same Cetaphil face wash, lotion, and Bare Minerals foundation routine since middle school. Please help. What would your top 3 essential steps to skincare basics and top 3 makeup basics for someone who likes to keep it simple but wants to step it up? This was a great question. I love this, and it's perfect for us.
I picked this one as well.
Oh, is this one?
Is the one that we both picked.
Oh, okay. Okay, then you start.
Okay.
Tell us.
As for someone who is a product whore who loves a lot of products, I don't have like unless we're doing like a facial, we're making like an event of it. I don't have like a 10-care like step routine. Like I cannot do that. That's exhausting. It's not sustainable. I just don't want to be that girl. So I think honestly, you don't need to step. If it's working for you, work for it. But if you want to mix some things up, here's what you can do. For skincare, it's always going to be about hydration, and that's the most important thing to me. An exfoliant and hydration. So it's like whether it's like a grit exfoliant or a liquid exfoliant, some kind of active, like an HA or BHA. I do that like a couple times a week. And then after that, I'll do like a hyaluronic acid and just like whatever moisturizer I'm loving at the moment, and then some SPF. That's it. Yeah, well, there's a washing process in there, but like Cetaphil is great. That's like a tried and true OG. Like, why would you mess with it if it's not broken?
I actually use Cetaphil face wash. It is a tried and true, and I think that in my skincare routine, some places I splurge and some places I don't. So that is an example of when I don't. In the mornings, I use a vitamin C tonic by Pixie. It's like $14 and it's great, but I really do think a vitamin C is important in whatever one. Just find which one you like.
It's brightening. It's going to make your skin glow like nothing.
Yeah, it's brightening. And then one of the more expensive products I use is Caudalie, their resveratrol. It's in a little pink container. So I do the vitamin C, then I do that. And then obviously SPF and moisturizer and whatnot. And then at night, I religiously use a retinol. And you can have, if you have sensitive skin, you can have reactions based on the percent of retinol that's in it. So do your research. I use a mild one that I use nightly. So mine works for me, but like Katie said, you have to have some type of exfoliant. So whether it's an AHA, BHA, a chemical exfoliant or a physical one, both are great.
And if you're using retinol, make sure you're using a very
sunscreen.
Heavy, sunscreen and moisturize with that shit. Like just layer the moisturizer on top of it.
I will say sometimes a nice moisturizer is somewhere that I'll also splurge a little bit more if it's like a more dense or just one that I really like. Cause I have combination skin and my shit gets so dry. So I have to like really shellac after this process.
And there's a lot of really great eye creams and also face creams, face moisturizers with retinol in it. That's nice too. If you want just like to take a little approach, you just want like a little zhuzh.
I think that basically what we're both saying though is there's an easy way to do a foundational skincare plan that just has a few things. Obviously everyone's skin is different, but do not let these influencers be lying to you and selling you shit online that you don't need.
Just
it should be keep it
hydrated,
simple.
Keep it moisturized. And like people always ask me like, how to just get, I moisturize religiously all day. I'll re-moisturize throughout the day. Like I just want to keep my skin plump and hydrated.
I'm doing two things. I'm promoting cell turnover and I'm staying moisturized.
And makeup wise, also something I like to keep super simple too for the most part. I love like obviously products that have SPF in it too, just to like layer over like the initial SPF because that's, important. But I also like a tinted moisturizer or tinted serum. I think those just like are the best kind of overall complexion enhancers because it's going to offer like minimal to medium, depending on what it is, coverage, which is fine because I don't like, unless it's going to be an on camera or photo shoot, I don't like to put a ton of heavy foundation on my face. And then I'll just use like a little concealer, like maybe under the eyes, maybe over some like blemishes, but like just really like spot concealing and then just doing an overall tinted serum because it also feels like it's like a little bit of like skin product doing nice things for your skin, but also getting a little bit of the coverage. And then I love a baked mineral powder to put over top. I think it makes your skin look extra glowy and kind of has like a little bit of a sheen to it. There's that blush I love. And then eyeliner and mascara. That's it. I use bronzer and like on my eyelids to make me not look dead. But yeah, that's it. Some liner, mascara, tinted moisturizer, serum, and blush.
I'm with you and like you in that I don't, unless it's like an event, I very rarely get like a full glam beat. And it's fun to do that occasionally, but I'm just someone that has sensitive skin. So if I am using foundation, like today, I love the House Labs foundation. It is by far my favorite foundation, but I cut it with.
That is one of my favorites too, because it's buildable.
It is so good. It's buildable, but I actually cut it with moisturizer. So I do one drop and then a drop of moisturizer. And I just think so it makes it a little bit lighter for me. But then if I'm not doing that, I do Elta MD tinted sunscreen. That's my go-to. So I'll do that. And then since I have such combo skin and mine gets progressively oilier throughout the day, some people like a dewy finish. I like a matte finish. So I like to do 2 different price points. I love the Charlotte Tilbury press powder, but I also love the Sephora brand loose powder. I use the translucent one. And I just, whether I'm doing sunscreen or foundation, I do press powder after. And then I think it's really important to get to know your eyebrows. And we all have different journeys with our eyebrows. We struggle at different times. But once you get to a place where like really spend time investing on what works for you with your eyebrows. For me, it is a combo of an eyebrow pencil and it's called Boy Brow from Glossier, but that wax or whatever. So I just pencil and then I just push them up. But everyone has different eyebrow needs. So I really recommend figuring out what your eyebrow routine is.
Yeah, getting away with just like having like really framed face with eyebrows, like you kind of don't need anything else. I think that is a really good starting point for making you look put together.
And the market is really saturated. So even if you don't have eyebrows, there's so many different products aimed at fixing this problem. So it's out there. So just do your research.
We'll just shout out to my new favorite tinted serum is from Versed. It's like a drugstore, Target. You can get it at Target, but it's super inexpensive and it is so gorgeous. Like I put it on with a sponge and my skin looks so dewy and like just, I don't know. I'm obsessed with it. What is it? Oh, it's just their tinted multi serum.
Tinted serum. Okay.
Yeah, tinted serum.
I'll be checking that out.
Yeah, it's cool shit.
Okay. Love. Yeah, I think, I hope that helps because you just have to find what's right for you and don't necessarily subscribe to trends because I've tried different things that don't work. But also Charlotte Tilbury does sponsor this podcast, but I've used her for a decade, however long that makeup has been out. I've been using
Charlotte Tilbury, the serum, what is it?
Hollywood Filter?
No, not the Hollywood. I love that, but like it's just
it's
like
the
a
magic,
serum.
the serum.
Yeah,
whatever.
and the moisturizer too are such good skin prep for makeup. It's crazy.
I think it's called the Dream Cream. When I'm putting makeup on, that's what I use. I use the Charlotte Tilbury. Again, it's a different price point, but that, and then I will say specifically, her highlighter. It has the little like cotton tip on it, and you just blot it on. Other liquid highlighters, I've noticed move my foundation or pull it up. It just blends so seamlessly, and it's the prettiest little shine. Not like that 2016 blind your eyes shine, but just like highlights what you want to be highlighted.
Yeah, but it's okay if you want to mix it up. I mix it up too sometimes, and I'm like, this isn't working for me, and it's always just like a slight variation of the same thing.
Our skin has different seasons, just like our minds and hearts and bodies. So,
correct.
Okay, hope that helps.
So I have a problem because I keep signing up for free trials for things I don't need just for fun. And then I forget they exist and then get charged out the wazoo.
Not out the wazoo.
Yeah, it's becoming an issue.
I mean, it's your favorite thing to do besides accessorizing and skincare.
Spend, baby, spend.
You know what's even worse? When you try and cancel that subscription, but then there are a million gazillion little subcategories in the fine print that are so confusing, you actually can't cancel it. You just give up. Yeah. I just lay on the ground and cry.
Because they go, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? But thanks to Rocket Money, I can see all my subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones I'm not using anymore. And now I'm saving even more money.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you even cancel them. Like, hello.
Yeah. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. Easy creates a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money's going. Get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or you're close to going over budget.
The new goals feature automatically saves money for you, so you don't have to think about it. Pay off credit card debt, put money away for a house, or just build your savings. Rocket Money makes it easy.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. Love that.
Love.
They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with customer service, so you don't have to.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features.
Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully today. That's rocketmoney.com/disrespectfully. rocketmoney.com/disrespect.
I don't know about you guys, but I want to live a long and luxurious life. That's why I've been using Function. Function is an all-in-one health platform that starts with over 100 advanced lab tests covering your entire bod. Heart, hormones, liver, kidneys, thyroid, autoimmunity, cancer signals, toxins, nutrients, and more.
Function Health is all about taking control of your health through data. Instead of guessing what's happening inside your body, Function helps you know for sure, providing access to 100 plus advanced lab tests. These tests include insights into thyroid function, hormones, liver health, heart health, autoimmunity, kidney function, nutrient levels, heavy metal toxicity, immune system, electrolytes, and more.
Most traditional annual checkups only cover 19 biomarkers. Function Health goes 5 times deeper, giving a comprehensive view that allows you to catch potential issues early and take proactive action. Your first set of tests helps establish a baseline of your health, giving you a starting point to compare future tests against. This makes it easy to spot changes, even subtle ones, and address them proactively.
Lifespans are decreasing, chronic conditions are rising, and cancer is becoming more common in younger people. Knowing what's happening inside is key to prevention, which is why comprehensive testing is so important. Unlike some companies, Function doesn't sell supplements or prescriptions. The insights you get are unbiased and solely focused on your health.
At $499 annually, the membership includes the cost of 100 plus lab tests through their nationwide lab partner. There are over 2,000 locations nationwide, making it accessible to a wider audience compared to traditional healthcare costs that could reach up to $15,000 for these exact same tests.
Health is universal. Function Health is for anyone who wants to understand their body better and make informed decisions for a longer, healthier life. Function currently has a waitlist, but they're offering our audience the chance to skip it. Head to functionhealth.com/DRF or enter code DRF when signing up to skip the waitlist. Sam says, "Hi Queens, I'm absolutely in love with Disrespectfully. Your banter, advice, and humor give me life. My beautiful sister, Chelsea, bribed me for the longest time to watch Vanderpump Rules, finally caving and finishing the series before her. We are in love with the two of you in the show. I listen to your pod all day, every day. It gets me through the day and helps me feel like a normal person. Sometimes as a woman, you feel alone in this scary world, but then when I listen to this pod, I feel like I have two best friends in you two, along with the other listeners who share incredible stories." That's really nice.
I know, that makes me want to.
I'm sure
I just
everyone
love
loves
how
to hear
much
that too.
you all love each other too. Like that was our whole goal of doing this podcast.
This is our community. We're all in this together, so let's all just lean on each other.
Love.
My question for you both, as a 29-year-old single mama of 2 and a part-time CNA, what is this?
It's a nurse of some kind,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I feel as if I'm becoming a homebody and that it's easier to stay at home opposed to going out and doing things with friends and family. The world is so harsh and leaving the house costs no less than $200 per day. Oh, tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice on how to find life after leaving young adulthood? I live in a very small town with not much to do, not many things for kids or young people to do recreationally. Thank you in advance. I will literally jump for joy if I hear this being read. P.S. Will Disrespectfully do a tour? Okay, love you, bye.
Well, you better be jumping, Sam. Better start jumping.
You know, I understand this like weird transition from like young adulthood where you like it's all party, it's all friends, it's all hanging out, it's all that, you know, and you do so much of that. You'll spend like days on ends with people. And then like you get into a different phase of life where it's like that happens less. So you become a little bit more focused. Everyone's kind of more focused on themselves, maybe their family, maybe their partner, like that kind of thing. So I think it's sort of like this like weird uncomfy time where you just got to like figure out this is the new normal. But obviously I'm not a single mother. I don't have children. So I know that comes with a lot of, obstacles or things that you need to just sort of like work around. But I think honestly, doing stuff like for yourself, like, is there a workout class you wanted to try? I just think that like, it's not about having the most time in the world. It's about how you spend that time, I think. So whether it's a workout class or trying like, just be like, this week I'm going to try all new restaurants or, or coffee places or, and it's not about like spending tons of money, but just going in and just peeping the vibe. I don't know, just sort of like acquainting yourself with new things in life, because obviously the old life is still a part of you, but it's behind you. I just think doing a little soul searching out there, doing a little eat, pray, love, doing stuff that doesn't maybe cost a ton of money, but is new experiences is all I'm trying to say. And I don't know what your town has to offer in that way, but like, I don't know, bowling league. But I'm just saying, like, whatever you think that there's nothing, there's always something for everybody. And I think having things to look forward to, making plans far in advance too, will also like help motivate you and keep you out of any kind of funk. Having things to look forward to, in advance too, will also like help motivate you and having things to look forward to in advance too, while also like
coloring.
yeah.
So it's like
Mhm.
coloring.
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
it's
Dude,
is great. I'm a
do you
big
know what?
homebody.
Matt LeBlanc says something that I resonate so well with. He goes, someone's like, what do you love to do? Like, how do you like? And he goes, nothing. I am so good at doing that. Like, lean into it. Don't feel like you're being boring just because you're comparing how your life used to be. Also, is why I think there's a lot of like rear view sort of stuff that happens in this day in life. But again, also not something I was going to add to you when you brought up Hot Girl Walk. Doing some type of like physical activity, walks especially, are so like creatively like nurturing to me. Like I have come up with ideas or things I want to do, or it's I don't know, just something about, as much as I love a sedentary life, but like moving also just gets everything moving. So like if you're feeling in a rut, if you're
like, what do
feeling
you love to
stuck,
do?
like how do you like going for that like little walk will get some. I am so good at doing that. Like,
know what's going to come out of
lean
it.
into it. Don't feel like you're being boring just because you might come up with a whole like you're like, you know what? I really want to fucking do latte art. And like, do that. Also, not something I was going to add to you. Type of like and then guess what? You feel lighter.
It's out of your body. So yeah,
like creatively like
I just hard on where you are in your space. Bit and you realize like this fit.
As much as I love
we're in it right now.
and it can seem bleak and grim until you lean into it. You're like, no, this is wonderful. So like 29 is that age where you're like, how do you like, I'm not a kid where I can just sort of like, I have a lot more responsibility now. And so do all my friends, but that is life. And it's beautiful.
And also, I know it can be exhausting with the friends or family thing, but I will say it maybe even just talking to them about it, or people, I'm sure you have friends that have kids that are similar age to yours. Like, you're not the only one that's feeling this way, is my point. So shared collective community is really important, and we love you so much. The tour, we've talked about it. Definitely we want to at some point. I don't think we're necessarily there, but
yeah, I think when we do it, we want to knock it out of the park and make it the best ever. And I think, part of that's also coming with like just growing this community, growing this podcast. Like we, come up with new segment ideas. And we want to be able to bring that all to a live show as well. So we'll get there for sure.
Yeah. So tell your friends about this podcast. Let's grow this bad boy. But yeah, we would love to. At some point, that is on our vision board, and I think it will happen.
Oh yeah,
point. I don't have any doubts about that. It's just when.
No, exactly.
Amelia says, life seems to keep taking a dump on us. Hey ladies, day one listener, huge fan of Vanderpump Rules. So as my email is named, my life just seems to keep taking a dump on my husband and I. I feel like it really started after the traumatic birth of our son, where he almost didn't make it. He's perfectly fine now. I had postpartum depression, and it has also affected my husband. I don't know if there's a term for it. Then we took a hit financially when my husband's job, where they couldn't pay him, and it's still not totally resolved. The reasoning is too long to explain. Then our basement flooded, and we can't afford to fix it now, so it's going to happen again from time to time. Our dog isn't doing well, and we are just trying to figure out if we need to make the hard decision and put him down. And now his dad has cancer and isn't doing well. So all of this is tough to deal with, and he has depression, so it makes him spiral even more. It's really tough on me too, and I'm not super good at dealing with things like this because when I get overwhelmed and depressed, I tend to withdraw and be quiet, while my husband is the complete opposite. I'm really worried about my husband, and I suggest therapy, but then it's the money factor that's the issue, so it's a no-go. I really try to stay optimistic, but it's getting really hard. Katie and Dana, I know you have gone through loss. What was helpful for you? How do you deal with things with it feels like life keeps piling up on top of you? Thank you, Amelia. Okay, first of all, I'm so sorry that this is all happening to you right now. It sounds corny, but it's just true. When it rains, it pours. It's just seldom one isolated event that sucks. It's usually multiple things. And I think that it's good that you're recognizing that you guys probably have different communication styles and different needs when you're going through similar difficult life events. I think that's the first step. And I think the first step, especially when you're in a partnership, like it's so obvious to me how much you care and how much you want to be there. So just remembering that you guys are on the same team, and maybe even just expressing that to him, that like, I don't know that I can do this perfectly or hit exactly what you need. And since we're limited from a budget standpoint, I want to figure out how we can workshop this together. And I think that what has always been helpful for me when I've been dealing with a lot is when someone comes to me, not necessarily with a solution or an answer, but just asking me what I need. Because that's sometimes you don't know you need, but sometimes it really helps you just to know that someone wants to find that out. And that can go a long way. And sometimes I've had many dog piles in my life that have just sucked such complete dick and not been sure how to get out on the other side of it and whatnot. But what I always try and remind myself now is that you can get pushed to the limit and your cup is totally full and it, runs over. But bad days always pass. They just do. Nothing lasts forever. And that is in terms of good times or bad times. It will get better at some point. So it's about withstanding the storm while you're in it and locking close to your husband and your partner and your source of joy and love where you can, and taking care of yourself and each other, and just knowing that it will get better. It's going to get better at some point.
I know my mom always used to say the darkest hours are just before the light. And I think that's just a really nice way to look at it, rather than it's like, oh, it's just dumping on me. Because I think also just there's nothing you can do about some of the unfortunate events that happen, but like you can do something about your attitude towards it. I'm not saying you have a bad attitude towards it. It's 100% valid. But like sometimes mind over matter is very powerful. Like the mind will help trick you into just, even if it's just into like facing each day at a time, just like, you know what, today's the day it could all get better. It might. I don't know. But time just is the main factor here. I think also with you and your husband, like Dana was saying, you handle things different and different communication styles. And I think, like she said, you're both on the same team, and just kind of vocally validating, like saying those things, not just like, because people, especially when you're like that, it's like, it can go a long way for somebody to just be like, I want to support you in every way I can. Just tell me how. What do you need? Do you need me just to sit and hold your hand? Do you want to talk? Do you not? Like, you can offer options if people don't know, but like, I think just that sort of vocal affirmation that like, you're not alone and someone's here for you if you need them, or like, do you need to sleep? Whatever their style is, if you kind of know what it is, like, husband, do you need to go for a run? What is it that's going to help you? I think just understanding another person is better than knowing them. So I don't know. I think it's going to get better. It will get better. It always does. Just be patient with yourself and with your husband.
And I think, just like I was saying before, in terms of age information, there are resources online that people all pull together for free creative problem solving, especially when it comes to mental health. And we just were talking about it. I know it sounds silly, but I think that perhaps you should have a dedicated, here's 20 minutes a day, I'm going to go for a walk, listen to music, listen to a podcast, listen to the birds chirping if you want. Like, doing some type of getting your body moving when you're feeling that way is so important. But there are people out there who have resources online that are free.
There are also like so many great podcasts by people who are incredibly inspirational and have great advice, similar things like that, they'll cover topics like grief and loss and depression.
They're also more qualified than us. They're like probably doctors and whatnot.
They're like, they write the books on it. So like listening to like those kind of podcasts, like I know like when I'm going through like certain ruts in different areas of life, like I really lean into those things, because like whether it directly applies to me and I can completely like understand, or relate, it does help. I think just like having just somebody speak some positivity on the topic into your life, or just like maybe there's some particular part of what they talk about that like really kind of changes things for you, but not in replace of therapy, but just for something to like give a little hope.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Retweet.
Okay.
We're pulling for you, and we can't wait for you to write in 6 months from now and to hear about all the good things that are happening for you.
Absolutely. Anonymous says, hi, Katie and Dana. First off, thank you for creating a space where I feel like I could tell even my craziest stories without fear of judgment, of a judgmental stare. Instead, I know I'll be met with the exact questions I hope someone else would ask. No wild stories for now, although I can't wait to send one in. Take your pick. The time I tore a man's foreskin, love to hear it, and he was so scared he called his dad, or the foursome that resulted in my boyfriend's inflamed nipple.
I'm going to need both of those, unfortunately. So
send them in.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead and write those in.
For now, I have a WWDD of a less spicy nature. Boo. I'm a 24-year-old female, and my close friend group consists of my fiance, 2 college friends, a guy and a girl, and a guy who somehow found his way into our tight-knit circle. What makes our group special is that we're all different in our own ways, but when we come together, everything just clicks. My fiance and I have been together for 5 years, and we're currently expecting.
Woo, congratulations.
Yeah. Which sometimes makes us feel like the elders of the group. adding a little extra pressure in situations like this one. Here's my deal. My guy college friend is on girl number 2 this year. And of course, he swears this one is a keeper, a real catch, the one. She's a lovely girl, but so was the last one. With his previous girlfriend, I went all in on building a friendship, saw her out at a bar to chat one-on-one, loaned her clothes, even planned outfits before we met up. I know that doesn't make me a saint, but we all know how draining the becoming friends small talk stage can be. When they broke up, she removed me as a follower, cut ties with all the friends she made through the relationship, and didn't even return my borrowed clothes herself. Cool. Now I'm struggling to muster the energy to befriend the new girlfriend. She seems fun, and I'd be genuinely happy if she is the one who sticks, but it just feels harder than it should to make the effort, especially since our group is already small, just the 6 of us with her included. So WWDD, do I suck it up and keep putting in the effort for the sake of group harmony, or is it okay to let things develop more naturally and not feel guilty for keeping her at arm's length until she earned her stripes? Love you both. I think you kind of know, but I think you should definitely let this one develop naturally and just let the friendship happen. I think with a small group like that, it can feel very intimidating and very, it's like close knit, and you're like, oh my God, you guys all spend so much time and know each other so long, and I'm like the new person, but so you want to overextend yourself. But I think you got to learn a lesson from the last one, that just in case things don't work out, that you haven't invested time or any kind of like emotional currency in this person, that like whatever. I think if it's meant to last, that'll happen organically the same way your friendship will. Just let it grow into that. Don't feel guilty at all. That's really not on you.
I will say I want to stand up for the girl that broke her ties with you, not for her stealing your clothes. That's not okay. But I will just say, for me, when I'm done with someone, this is just how I am. I have to be done with them, and that means they're friends too. Like, I just do that. So I'm guessing that was like a protective mechanism on her part.
And probably also to respect too, like those are friends that she met through that relationship, and how frustrating would it be and awkward would people feel if like she kept trying to insert herself, and I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I think when you're like, oh, earn her stripes, well, maybe your friend is the problem if he keeps saying that this one's the one and it keeps not working out. So, but I also agree with Katie. I think that it's totally fine to let things develop organically. And if it is meant to be and their relationship is meant to grow, then you guys will naturally grow. I will just preface this by saying, I don't think you are, but don't make her feel uncomfortable. Like, no need to be besties with her. No need to be spending all your time chatting one-on-one, whatever. But I also hate when you're the new person in the group and you're dating and you already feel like you have something to prove to the friends, to like just put your best foot forward and people make you feel a little shut out. So I would say it's about striking the balance of just making them feel welcome and giving them a chance, but like, keeping your guard up.
Yeah, like maybe don't be like instantly following each other on Instagram or like exchanging, phone numbers, because it definitely can also put out the vibe too of like, say you're dating someone and all their friends are kind of like standoffish towards you. I would begin to question the person I was with, because I'm like, what? Like, these people just don't see it worth their time. But I think, yeah, just being a little bit, you can absolutely be friendly and pleasant when you're in the same room and all hanging out. But like, I just wouldn't be worried about growing your own personal relationship with them.
Hope this helps.
Hope it helps.
Look, we all have a stinky cookies. Look, feminine odor
listen, sometimes
you leave it in the bathroom, okay? You know what I mean. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about.
Let's remove the stigma.
Let's remove the stigma, because everyone, I don't care how polished you look on the outside, everyone deals with this. It doesn't matter what kind, if you have a vagina, you have dealt with these issues.
There's a million contributing factors as to why you could just be feeling off, smelling off, tasting off, just things get off. But you know what?
We have a solution. Luckily, there's O Positive. O Positive is a women's health company that offers a range of symptom targeting supplements that support women at every stage of life, from their first period to well beyond their last. They create real, tangible results with ingredients that are backed by clinical studies and shaped by board-certified doctors.
O Positive is committed to breaking down stigmas and addressing issues many women experience: hormone health, vaginal health, menopause, and so much more. And their Euro is a probiotic blend specifically formulated to support vaginal health by balancing healthy vaginal pH, supporting healthy vaginal smell, and maintaining healthy vaginal flora.
Euro Vaginal Probiotic is a blend of 4 powerful strains of lactobacillus probiotics backed by research showing that these strains support healthy vaginal odor, vaginal pH, and flora. In addition, Euro contains prebiotics that increase the effectiveness of the probiotics.
With just 2 capsules per day, Euro delivers noticeable benefits within 8 weeks. Many customers talk about how the improvement in vaginal health led to greater confidence as well as better sex and intimacy.
Rare. Take proactive care of your health and head to opositive.com/DRF or enter DRF at checkout for 25% off your first purchase. That's opositiv.com/DRF for 25% off. Anonymous says, "Hey Dana and Katie, love the podcast. I listen twice a week on my daily morning walks and live for your Friday episodes. Also, Vanderpump Rules is my comfort show and have it always playing in the background while I work. I'm 32 years old and definitely not in the place I thought I would be at this age. I thought by now I'd be married with 3 kids and living the typical family life I feel like everyone thinks they'll have by the time they're 30. But instead, I just went through a breakup and have no plans to date in the near future, aka I hate men right now. This breakup was particularly tough because I thought it was the guy I was going to marry and have said family with, but turns out he didn't want to have kids in his future, and I didn't find that out until a year and a half into our relationship. Anyway, my question is about how you guys feel about kids at this age, whether you still want them, never wanted them. Katie, I know you had mentioned in Vanderpump Rules you did, but not sure about Dana. But overall, if you have this feeling like it's just never going to happen because our ticking biological clocks. I know there are tons of ways to have kids on your own, but culturally, I come from a background that's pretty much forbid kids unless you're married, and that doesn't seem like it's happening in my near future either. I just want some insight on how you guys feel about this topic in your 30s and how you ended up getting into the mindset you have today. Love you guys so much." I actually have so much to say on this topic, which obviously I picked it, so that makes sense. So I'm 34. I think I ruined a lot of dating experiences for myself in my late 20s and early 30s because I was so aware of my biological clock and I wanted kids so bad. I used to say that I was put on this earth to be a mom, and I very much still am open to having kids and feel like I'm more in the camp of wanting them. But something changed in my life a few years ago, and I saw someone really close to me go through this really hard situation. And I just realized that what I didn't want was to be a single mom, and that you can be married in a serious relationship, have kids, and it can change, right? That's totally happens. But I think that before my mindset was I will have a child no matter what. I don't care if I'm single, if I get pregnant randomly, if, I don't know what route, I'll just have a kid. But now my mindset has shifted in a big way to I'm only having children if I'm with someone that I think will be a really good parent, co-parent, and that it's meant to happen. And I really want that. And I want it to come from a place of love and having family, not just to have a child, which is who I used to be. So for me, I also used to struggle and go back and forth with, am I going to freeze my eggs? If I'm not where I'm at in my life, if it is meant to happen, it will. I haven't frozen my eggs. I don't plan on freezing my eggs. I'm 34. I've never even had testing done for fertility. So I don't know, some women start struggling immediately. Some people always will have this problem. Sometimes they say after 35, it really falls off. So I think that my window is small to have kids if I'm being realistic about it. And I used to be really scared of that. And I used to let that run my life. It is all I thought about. It stressed me out. And now being at this place where I'm like, what is going to happen is going to happen. And I am really excited about whatever that looks like and making my life as I don't think that self-love replaces romantic love. It just doesn't. But I have as much self-love as I can. And I 100% want to fall in love and find my person. I don't know if that means marriage, but I absolutely want my partner. I'm ready for my partner. But the kids thing is secondary to that. Whereas I used to be if I met someone and on the second date, they said they didn't want kids, I would cut them off. If I met someone that was totally right for me and they didn't want kids, I would fully pick that route. That's what I would want at this place in my life. So I think it still does feel scary occasionally for me of just being yeah, I'm 34 and the patriarchy drills into your skull that if you are not 30 and married with kids and the fence and the jobs and whatever, that you have failed in some way. But I know that I'm living the best life that I could possibly have imagined for myself. And had I settled or had children with some people in my past, my life would look very different. So I think that you have to just decide what's right for you. But I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, your life really starts happening when you take that pressure off yourself, because you're not helping anything when you're driving yourself insane, being I should. Carrie Bradshaw once said, why are we shoulding all over ourselves?
Why are we? I mean, I think Dana and myself are both living the experience of what was told, or what they didn't have an explanation for, of well, this is what life should look like. once you hit 30 or like this, you should want the marriage and the kids and that. And like, and if you don't have that, well, I don't know what to tell you. We're living that. I don't know what to tell you. And it's wonderful.
It's great. I love it.
I'm not scared of the alternative. I think, growing up, it wasn't like, I can't wait to be a mommy. It was like, oh, I just assumed like I would have a husband and a family. That was just the assumption that was, I don't know, indoctrinated into me somehow. But like, I had a husband and a life. And like, I thought, like, okay, now we have kids. Like it was all like these like next steps. And, that didn't happen. And it was like sort of like a crazy thing because like all my closest friends around me were. So I was just like, all right, me too now. And it didn't happen. And then obviously that relationship and marriage fell apart. And I'm grateful that it didn't happen because adding that to everything that you go through with divorce and everything is terrible. And I feel for anyone that has to go through that. When you go through a crazy life transition, of course, like you start to like take a look at your life and like what you want. Like so much in you changes. Like even the stance on having kids or not having kids is up for change as well. And that's kind of where I'm at. Because for a while I was like, okay, well, I could go one way or the other. Like if I met somebody and they wanted kids, I'd be like, okay, but now I'm getting to be closer to 40 and that presents more challenges that I don't know if I want to endure. I don't know if I want kids that badly that I'm willing to like go through all the medical processes for those things. Like I think I'd rather just keep enjoying my life. I've never felt the biological clock. I never got like, oh, I just need like that hasn't happened to me. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel like a void's in my life. I just really want to be genuinely happy. And yeah, meeting somebody who does those things and envisioning what life could look like with them is as exciting as starting a family to me. Because it's like just starting like a new like life with somebody, I don't know. I think like you've also said, if you don't 100% know you want children, that should be your answer.
Don't have them. I look back on, I'm so glad that it didn't happen years ago with someone because of my mindset. Also, my number one most important factor for if I'm going to end up having kids is the person I'm with. If you're listening, I know we have listeners right now that are at home that had children with a partner that is not 110 parent equal. The sweat equity that gets placed on women is so crazy. And our whole lives we've been told pick A or B, but our whole show was about why we wanted to start this podcast is we're living C and it's fucking great. But what I'm telling you is being a single parent is hard. And it's when you have to co-parent or even when you're in a relationship with that person. I came from a household where I wish my mom had chosen differently, right? I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be yapping. But like she did not take into consideration who she was having kids with. She just had kids with who she thought was hot, which I get. But
that's also life. It's not just the kids that you have for a lifetime. It's that person's in your life for a lifetime. It's
the person that's in your life for a lifetime, but also the kids are ultimately the ones that feel that. So I just highly recommend if you're out there and it used to be this thing where we were just, like you said, indoctrinated to, if you're not sure, just have the kids. But now I am very much of the mindset, if you are not sure, do not have kids. It changes your life. And of course, there are wonderful, amazing things that come with being a parent and it's very special. I'm not anti-kid at all, but like, I think that our generation really is the first one that's taking a look at the bigger picture and all of the things. And it's financially taxing. It's emotionally taxing. What is your ecosystem like of the community you have? Do you have a tribe or are you doing it on your own? There's a lot to consider.
I think, yeah. And I saw, I don't know if it was TikTok or something, but about, the general attitude around people that don't have children, whether they chose that or cannot. But for the people that have made the active decision not to, like to pity them or to like look poorly upon them, I think says more about you and the choices that you've made. Because a lot of those women, they don't feel like they're childless. They are child free and they want that. And again, that's not, and people that choose alternative routes and do those measures, like more power to you because that's what you want out of life. And you should absolutely get that by any means. But there's so many people that also just like choose to have kids, but didn't choose to be parents. And that's really unfortunate.
And take it from the mouth of babes. This is one of the sweetest things Lenny's ever said to me, but we were FaceTiming and it was Saturday morning at like 10 a.m. And she was like, Rara, why are you napping so early? And what she meant was, why the fuck are you still in bed? And I was like, because Lenny, I don't have children and my time is my own. And she paused and she goes, you do have children. It's us. To me about her, bro, I literally, me and Brittany both cried. But point being, it's like, yeah, my life looks maybe different than I thought it was when I was 12. But also when I was 12, I was so unwell and like had so many iterations to go through and software updates and whatever. And I'm like, no, my life is exactly what it was supposed to be. And I have started living in the last 2 years when I finally got to this place. And I'm so grateful for this mindset.
I see that in you too, because you were very hard on yourself.
Oh my God. It took up so much of the real
Mhm.
estate in my mind all the time. And it was just like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, well, if it doesn't happen, then it won't. And I'm going to do everything else on this planet that I can do and want to. I just think that there are multiple options. And if you do just feel sad about it, I am telling you, try your hardest to evaluate in yourself where that's coming from, because it's not just societal pressure. It does come from within us too.
Yeah.
And like once you're in a place where it doesn't stress you out so bad, and I hate when people are like, oh, just stop thinking about it and it'll happen. That's bullshit. But
No.
I think it makes your life a lot better and makes you more open to experiences that will fulfill you instead of feeling like you're failing in some way, because you're not.
I hate that.
And 32 is so goddamn young. You're still a kid. I could be
You
your mom.
still have
Basically.
time for sure. Hope that helps.
Hope that helps. Okay, well,
That was a lot of knowledge.
that was a kind of heavy one to end on, but good. And I just know that there are so many people out there that feel this way. So we're so
yeah.
glad to be a listening ear for you guys, and hope
The
we help.
soundboard. Yeah, well, thanks for writing in. Keep writing in. disrespectfullypod@gmail. Yeah.
.com.
Oh yeah. .com.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Babe, you're gonna see the power of women. Like
Disrespectfully.